Jolan Tru Centurions, and welcome back to another episode of Starfleet Command, Orion Pirates Mod, and I'm Fleet Admiral Tarek of the Dreadnought Ice Pugnator, as we continue our campaign against the Hydron Star Kingdom. And last time, well, we've been getting once again reacquainted with the Romulan optimized Condor, one of the best dreadnoughts in the entire game, and certainly the best light dreadnought for sure. And we've just been having a grand old time blasting the Hydrons. One of the sole surviving planets, there are two left, is down to an Empire defense of 15, so without further ado, let us set out into space to see if we can't actually conquer this planet today, and if possible, maybe even use its shipyards in with which to construct an X-type heavy bombardment cruiser, which would be a lot of fun. Alright, so we're going to begin the day the best way you can with an MET-10 patrol, a straight-up battle, you, me, the enemy, and let's go take them on. All people to battle post. What did he say? All something to battle post. I wasn't actually paying close enough attention, and now I'm kind of curious what he says. Get ourselves up to a cruising speed of 14 while charging all plasma torpedoes in enveloping defensive enveloping mode. Defensive mode would be firing them in shotgun plasma mode, which would, depending on the size, create a whole bunch of plasma F torpedoes which then fire out at multiple targets. It's rather interesting, because only one plasma torpedo can go per target, but if you're facing a massive wave of pseudo-frigates, it's not terrible. We do have an enemy frigate off in the distance, however. It appears to be an Andromedan vessel, despite the fact that it's currently showing me a Miranda class down here, or the Reliant, what was the other one? It was like the Vengeance class or something like that? It doesn't really matter. We're going to break this guy in half, and he's not even really going to know what hit him because, well, that's exactly what we can do. He's only an Andromedan frigate after all, although their fighters are pretty dangerous. How much power do I have available? A little bit more. Let's steal as much as we can from the power budget. Prepare to engage and fire the pseudo-plasma torpedo. Begin your breakout maneuver, and... oh yeah, you don't have this. Okay, I will turn into you since you utilized all of your massive offensive firepower, and I have more than you can handle. Let's conduct my high energy turn so that I can just get everything. We kind of botched this engagement up a little bit, but that's okay. And we'll get the last of that on there, so you've got all the love and attention that I can give you. So you've got most of your systems offline, a little bit more of your systems offline, and you are alive. Holy crap, you don't have anything left on your ship, but you're alive. Phasers. Wasn't it election? There we go. Andromedan's taken care of. Wasn't even able to penetrate our shield, despite the rather significant mistake of forgetting the fact that certain Andromedan ships do not actually have shuttle bays, and thus I don't need to worry about the Wild Weasel launch. Well, that'll work out well enough in the end. So good job all around. Took a little bit longer than it should have, but 150 prestige is our reward for job well done. The tile is neutral. We must engage. So if we manage to take it on this one with a planetary assault, this is where we want to be. So full-on planetary assault. Let's see if we can't grab the planet with this final attack. There will be one planet left after this. According to the sensors, we're dealing with a PLPH, so it is actually defended planet. Unfortunate. Plasma torpedoes, of course, set to enveloping mode, and our target is a light cruiser, an HDW XV, also known as an alphabet soup war destroyer, just because they got so many gosh darn letters just crammed together as if on a spoon. They tend to be fairly solid, although Hydron alphabet soup war destroyers I don't quite view as being quite on the level of their Federation counterparts. So the Federation heavy war destroyers are, in a word, amazing. And yeah, this guy just isn't up on that level. We're going to drift off to the side to see if we can avoid any sort of major income. That's what I was expecting. That's what I was anticipating. A Paladin heavy dreadnought. Do I actually have pseudo-frigates? I do. I don't think I have special pseudo-frigates, but we have them. So there's going to be that. So we're going to try and wipe out this guy in basically one salvo. That is my plan. Anyway, I'm not... oh my god, that's a lot of fighters. It's a lot more fighters than I had planned to have to deal with. And we're going to have to figure out something to go along with them. Just tune that down a little bit. Fire the pseudoplasma... oh, we are way too close for this. But we have a high energy turn available. His reaction times on that was immediate. He will crash stop, of course, as we drift on along. We do have a high energy turn with which we can use to exploit this. The reason why I'm using so much firepower to take out this little guy is because he has the potential of causing me no end of pain, and I don't want to have to deal with that in the near future. So we will sort of drift along and let them start to accelerate. Oh, that's not good. The timing on this is going to be terrible. Prepare for the high energy turn. He's already up to speed. Incoming long range fire and twist. Fire! And back in. So we did manage to eat up a lot of their fire thanks to shooting down the plasma torpedoes, which does mean we get to avoid getting shot at. He's not dead, which is not great, because I was kind of anticipating he would be. Overload on the phasers, because we've got to make sure this gets done properly. Good hits on that one, but unfortunately my aft firing phasers have already engaged other targets, and that's not ideal. Stop engaging other targets, F-phasers. I didn't ask you to do that. Drop a nuclear space mine behind us. See if we can't get some distance, because I got to get in front of this guy. Plasma torpedoes to normal mode. Crap, we just lost a little bit of charging. Not a ton, but enough to make me concerned. There we go, got him. Which takes out all those fighters and cloak. Because we've got a lot of fighters incoming. We got a lot of fighters to deal with. So we're going to drift back into cloak, and if I can draw you into the nuclear space mine, that would be ideal. But you're not going to do it. You're not quite that dumb. But a little bit more accurate long-range fire, which is starting to become a bit of a concern. Give me a maximum electronic countermeasure and show me what I've got available. It's a little bit of light fire, not able to connect, but that's good. That'll keep us mostly protected. But I do need to finish charging my plasma torpedoes, and that's not going to be easy so long as he's sitting there just plinking away at me. I'm really kind of surprised at how much damage he's doing to me. At least how consistently he's doing damage to me. Right, so I've got to build distance, I've got to build speed, so I'm just going to set the speed to the maximum, and we're going to see if we can't just generate a little bit of distance on this one. Okay, distance is starting to get generated, that's good, that's lovely. Oh crap, no, not yet. Let these guys have their happy. Oh my god, he's up to full speed. He's almost up to speed, he's about to be up to full speed. Come on, cloak, and come around. Alright, so we've got to avoid the planet. We've got to avoid him. But if we want to actually charge our plasma torpedoes, we've got to get something done here. Fighters, perhaps? No, I'd prefer not to. Phaser capacitor is fully charged. That's a lot of power we get on back. Okay, now that we took most of that, I'm going to switch sides. See if we can avoid a little more damage. I was not anticipating you being there. Not going to lie. Okay, that's one fighter group down. The other fighter group is... They're not that dangerous, but they are dangerous enough. You are traveling at a speed of 18, so I am pulling away from you now. All power to aft shields. So all power to aft deflector shields. And give me no electronic countermeasure? Yeah, no electronic countermeasure. You're not helping me out anyway, so the more distance I can build, the better. So we're up to a speed of 31. If he wants me, he's really going to have to put the power in. This is going to give me time, but the question is how much time can I buy with this? Because we are basically taking all of our power to do this. We don't have any energy in order to actually charge the rest of the ship. We're trying, but we're failing. Give me F-type plasma torpedoes. No. That one. Offline. Give me more power for other things. Start charging the rest of the ship. That's my current goal and intention. So please tell me you're starting to charge. I do have 3.6 points power in the aft shield, which is helpful, which does mean our forward plasma torpedoes are charging, which that's going to be really useful. But I need time. Time is what I require in order to actually pull this off. Yeah, and there's the border. I can shoot down these fighters without any trouble. We already know that we can run them over, but that's going to set me back on the charge rate pretty severely, and I'd like to otherwise avoid that if at all possible, especially now that he's up to full power. So he is actually maintaining speed and position on me, which is less than ideal, but I think I can take him with just enough high-speed passes. So at least I hope, anyway. His light fire is being accurate, but we are able to avoid most of the damage on this one. Thanks mostly to the fact that we have enough rear shield reinforcement to be able to handle that. I could do an end around him, try and go after the planet, but the planet is too well defended for that. If it was just an undefended planet, I would do that, just because I could streak by the planet and grab it underneath him. But for this, unfortunately, I'm going to have to be a little bit more aggressive and committed to the win. So if switch our shield reinforcement just a little bit, because we are going to be basically running along the edge of this one. He is going to start to close the range pretty significantly, and that's a problem. What I can do, however, is I can target you, and I'm going to lob a pseudoplasma torpedo your way. Or not. Going to do that. See if I can't get just a little bit on you. All I really want is for you to back off just a little bit. I just need time. Give me the time that I need. Okay, that's a crash stop. Alright, so we're going to continue to zip along at maximum speed. And I'm going to set this plasma torpedo to enveloping mode. Do I want to? A penetrator might be a better idea. 3 onto activate. So now we're activating even more plasma torpedoes, bringing them online in stages to allow us to basically have enough firepower to kill him should we need to. We're going to drill on this plasma strike, I think. It's probably the best way we can engage, because we don't want to make too many close-in runs on this guy. Especially as we wait for our plasma torpedoes to charge. We may not have enough power in order to do it at all, in order to get the F-type plasma torpedoes involved as well. We are obviously charging them, but what I mean is I may not have a sufficient amount of protection, I suppose would be the way to put it, in order to be able to survive a close enough engagement with this guy. Because if we get that close, we're going to get hit by a lot. So we are drawing the range back out, which is of course great. We're once again starting to build in that sort of defensive positioning that we need. I do want his fighters to come a little bit further out. Okay, good. That didn't connect. That was a hellbore. We didn't want that hellbore to touch us, because if the hellbore touched us, then we'd be in a lot of trouble. So we are now just going to continue to hold outside of his range. I do want to come back and pick off this killer bee. I'm going to do it. I don't want to, but I'm going to. I do have a pseudoplasma torpedo currently in sort of holding on that. I'm going to start to slow down, so I have more plasma torpedo power. I want to get a full charge on this, and I'm not going to be able to do it. Give me a target on the killer bees. We are going to engage them with everything I've got. Another incoming hellbore, that's all right. And I may have to conduct a turn maneuver soon in order to go back in on him. Okay, that's most of him. And slow down the speed of time. Give me just a second. Okay, you're dead. You, on the other hand, R-type plasma torpedo, fire the pseudo. And begin our breakaway maneuver. And increase the speed of time. So that's our breakaway. If you respond to that, I may actually end up going in. He responded. He responded at the very last second, so that was a fairly decent maneuver on his part, but I will draw the distance out. I don't want to be anywhere near him. That's the part. That's the problem. I can make this drill. I just don't want to. So we are a turn and a half away from being able to fire this, and he's actually coming in at me pretty quickly already. Forward port shields are down. At least they're about to be down. He's going to shoot right through that shield. There's nothing I can do to stop it. I don't have time to swap it, and I'm not going to bother. Alright, so first 3 plasmas. The F-types are going to be the backup soon. Come on, get them out, get them out, get them out. I want them off my ship. And we're going to drop on in. We did get a penetration on him. We did actually manage to scatter a whole bunch of systems on him. However, we're not clear yet. Now we are. Full power. Full power to engines. Drop a mine. And start getting some engine repair going on. Fix that. Change the shield reinforcement to aft shields only. Because that's where we're going to need it. And I am going to slowly accelerate on away from him now. Going to take our time. Now this strategy of engagement is not going to be as quick as taking him out in the other more traditional way of just blitzing him with a ridiculous amount of enveloping plasma torpedoes and then coming around again for a second pass. But I'm not sure I can survive that maneuver. So we're steadily increasing our speed. We are getting away from him. And he is missing us with that, so that's great. So I will be able to build that distance in once again, which is what we need, and we need it badly. As we charge up all of our plasma torpedoes, we barely have enough power into that aft shield. I'm not able to get up to full speed, which is concerning. Wait, how fast are you moving? Oh, 22. I thought it was 32 for a moment. I'm like, wait a second. We may be in trouble here. I'm trying to just drag him out as long as I possibly can, and then we'll turn back in. We'll do another major strike on him if at all possible. But again, we've got to be very careful about this. Although we're going to use our pseudo-frigates, I think, on the next pass, because I think we can cause a significant enough damage to make him no longer want to fight us, or at least to be in a more vulnerable position. Okay, he's almost to a speed where he's going to be overtaking me. We're doing a speed of 31 right now, but I've only got 0.3 points of power in the aft shield, which is not a lot. He's about to, equalize speed on us, which is not good. I'd prefer a distance of 40 in order to set this run up, but I don't think I'm going to get it. And I am starting to move towards the planet, which is obviously less than ideal. So plasma torpedoes R's and S's are not yet ready to go, but they're about to be. And we will conduct a turn then. So we're switching to forward port. And forward starboard. Alright, we're fully charged. Swap the reinforcement. Nope, not all. Just forward port and forward. We're going to conduct another firing pass. We're going to start to slow down to give us additional power into these defenses. They will also drift us away from the planet, which will get us out of range of his guns. And the forward shield reinforcement is now active. And I'm going to engage with all pseudoplasma torpedoes. There we go. We got 2 of them. Now let's see how he responds. Slow way down. We're going to drift on in. Forward shield is at a fairly powerful state. Plasma torpedoes are ready to go. They are locked on with good angle. Okay, please tell me you're going to respond to that. He did. Aha! Okay, duck. So this may be a bad plan, but it is my plan, so it's what I've got to work with. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. Prepare to engage all plasmas. And start to increase the speed of the vessel. Swap all shields to aft. Prepare for the high energy turn. Once he gets to 3, we're going to begin conducting
High energy turn.
We're out. 3, 2, 1. Shield reinforcement has swapped. And that's penetrators. Oh, that's good penetrators right there. Plus all the additionals from the pseudo frigates. Alrighty, now he started with a speed advantage on us. We're about to lose every single one of our pseudo frigates, by the way. In case you were wondering, they're all dead. Doing some point blank range runs on him. We start to accelerate. We need to build some distance. Aft phasers engage. We did a number on him. His fusion cannons are out. 4 of his phasers are out. I mean, it may be worth trying to stick around with him. They've already managed to keep the pressure up on him pretty good. He's lost his shuttle bay. His aft phasers just managed to score more hits on our defensive shields. We are a light dreadnought, though, which means we are much more aggressive than he is in terms of being able to position aggressively. So we have much better capability of avoiding his arcs should we desired. We're actually going to go in on this. We're going to get the full forward shield reinforcement set up, so we can basically bounce 31 points of damage, which should be able to handle his attacks pretty good. We're going to come in and start the repairs. We need to stay on top of those entirely. Overload the forward phasers, so we've got that all handled. And his defensive phasers are trying to take on our pseudo frigates, but they're not doing enough damage because we managed to knock out at least one of them, which was helpful. We're going to have a hard time cutting through this aft shield just purely because it's intact, and we're going to have to wait until we actually manage to get some good plasma torpedo strikes, which are about to be ready very shortly. One more run ought to do a good amount of damage. Hopefully should cut through any more defenses that he's actually got. So yeah, this was a well-timed pseudo strike. I'm very happy with that one. Come on, get these tubes. Clearing the tubes. Prepare for the phaser follow-up if he actually manages to survive this strike, which I really, really hope he doesn't. Alright, we lost one of our pseudo frigates to do it, but that worked out lovely. Okay, call all of them home. So, calling all of our pseudo frigates back home, or at least the remaining 3. So, not terrible. We only lost 1. And now we can go for the planet itself once these guys get back on board. Plasma torpedoes, set to enveloping mode. Even though these were the old-fashioned two plasma Fs on a single phaser 1 pseudo frigates with the terrible shields and not the quad plasma torpedo ones that we normally like to use, that worked out well. Okay. The planet does have Hellbores, which sucks, but that's what we got to work with. So we're going to drop down underneath into Cloak, and we're going to accelerate as fast as we can. This is mostly to deal with the Hellbores, honestly, and we're just going to slip on in underneath their guns, as we like to do, and the enemy will have a hard time actually getting towards us. So it's going to take us a little while to actually get to the planet, but it is important that we avoid as much damage as possible, because we don't have a whole heck of a lot of health remaining. We really went through a lot with that one. That early couple of runs was quite damaging to us. We were still able to pull out of it, although I am quite chuffed about the way that high energy turn worked out just in time to spread all that damage all over the place. We didn't quite get to what I was intending, which was to present him the aft shield that we were buffing to make it so they couldn't do anything, but it still worked out pretty good. I just realized we're uncharging our R-type plasma torpedo, so we can only move at a speed of 10, apparently under Cloak, while charging an R-type plasma torpedo, which I suppose makes a certain amount of sense. We are very quick, though. Should we just ignore charging plasma torpedoes when we stay under Cloak? I'm not quite sure how that would translate in terms of like maximum total cloak speed, but we're going to get in on top of them. We're going to decloak, and we're going to hopefully wipe them out before they can do anything. We are going to need maximum electronic countermeasure, but I'm going to wait on that until we're fully ready to go with it. Enveloping plasma torpedoes are going to take a couple of salvos to actually get the work done, purely because we're going to have to cut them through on the back sides. Although we do have the advantage of we get to stay in Cloak, which is very, very powerful, and also they get to shoot themselves. Slow down the speed of time. We're going to drift just within a range of 10, so our plasma torpedoes are pretty much as effective as they're going to be. Well, the Fs need to be a little bit closer, but the Fs aren't going to be a significant addition to the shot. So we're going to slow down now, let ourselves have the full forward defensive shield. Yeah, that's a little bit closer than I wanted to be, but that'll be fine. Okay, X2. And recloak. So a good knockdown of that shield in its entirety. He has no more defenses. So now we chill, we wait, and we hope that the enemy doesn't get any actual accurate fire onto us. I may actually end up shredding the shield should the shield get any lower than what it is right now, because it's quite weak at the moment. A little bit more plasma for fire. Not able to cut through our forward defenses, mainly because of the damage reduction we get for having the shield intact. Also for having the cloak intact, I mean. Alright, so his forward shield is quite active. We're going to decloak. And recloak. Alright, doing quite the number to the planet, 134 damage, and hasn't weakened it severely just yet, but I think we've managed to cut through most of the armor at this point, and we should be able to start doing direct damage to facilities. We are not exactly a Malak-class warbird, but we certainly do a fairly decent approximation of it. I mean, the entirety of the Romulan Light Dreadnought line is fairly phenomenal. The only thing that separates us from being a Malak-class warbird is a single R-type plasma torpedo, and there's a plasma limit. So, nothing to sneeze at when it comes to plasma bombardment. See, now we're starting to get the big damage on. Most of their defensive G-type phasers are offline. We've already knocked out several of their phaser 4s, so 1 or 2 more salvos and we'll have this mostly taken care of. Although I am interested, how badly are the Marine complements damaged? We have 14, they have 13. So technically we would win in a one-on-one battle. It's just not something we'd want to sort of invite. I'm going to fix the broken phaser anyway. I mean, we do have very limited spare parts because we haven't actually improved anything on this ship, but that's fine. And back under. Just constantly hopping in and out of cloak. That's where safety lies. Down to 4, so at least 1 more salvo will probably take them out. Looks like they were repairing one of their phaser 4s, so that should be online in not relatively short order, but soon enough. One of the things that is reducing our overall damage is we were not fully counteracting their electronic countermeasure. We just didn't have the power in order to spare for it. That was his shot. And our return fire. And our disappearance. Okay, that's taken him out, if nothing else has. Okay, apparently not. We're going to get in closer. We're going to see exactly what there is to see. Apparently they have a couple of phaser 4s currently online, which is less than ideal, but we'll get this taken care of in fairly short order. It appears to be one off to the left side of the planet. I'm not sure if that would be west or not, depending on the rotation of the planet, I guess. But yeah, that's about to become fully back online. So we'll wait for him to fire 1 more shot, and once he does, then we will decloak and hopefully wipe it out before he can do anything about it. Oh, the forward port shield is once again in fairly decent condition. Give me within that range of 5, just so I've got the full force and might of my entire ship. Okay, decloak. Engage with the plasma. Decloak. And decloak. And Marines. Hopefully he doesn't shoot me now. Because we're very vulnerable. Okay, so we got it. So he was fixing that phaser 4. It did not come back online in time. We've got it mostly handled. And now we can just continue to provide orbital bombardment and capture the planet. Alright, that should actually be the planet fully taken on the map screen as well, because it was neutral when we began this engagement. So that worked out fairly nicely. We're going to actually see just how well we did, or poorly as the case may be. 495 prestige, and the tile is ours. Ah, lovely. I'm going to see if I can pop off and return, just to see if I've got any sort of shipyard stuff that I can buy, because we are currently in the market for an X-type bombardment cruiser. No, it's going to lock us in an anomaly, and I'm not going to take it. So that's going to do it for today's episode. I have been Tarak. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. Before I see a notification every time it's one of these videos, press that little bell icon, leave a comment. Come see us over on Twitch every Wednesday and Saturday at 5 o'clock as we play through Rogue Tech, Apollo's Vipers, a clan start campaign, which is a lot of fun. If you don't know what Rogue Tech is, go check out the rest of the channel, and it'll tell you what it is. And I will see you all in the next episode.